tariff, inflation. How do you go about pricing? If you're scared to raise your prices right now, this episode is for you because all of this economic uncertainty fear is real, but so is your worth. So let's talk about it in today's episode. This is the Brown Way to Money podcast, where women of color in business find their financial independence path. Because financial success is within our reach, but by playing by their rules, it is only going to take us halfway there. To succeed, we must take ownership of our voice with money. So, welcome to the Brown Way to Money podcast. But before we start, very quick, what an extra $500 will do for you or for your business this month? Well, maybe that is for payroll, to get that social media strategy, or to simply go and relax this month, take a massage, whatever it is. You could be the receiver of one of the micrograms we give here at the Brown Way to Money. If you want to have a chance to be the receiver of these micrograms, then pay attention to the secret word on this episode, and then go to brownwaytomoney.com and submit your application. Episode. Welcome back, sis, to Brown Way to Money podcast. I'm your host, Alejandra Rojas, Forbes columnist and the founder of Brown Way to Money. And today I'm here to tackle a big one. Pricing under uncertain times. Should I raise my prices? And if so, how? That is the question that I've been getting all of this time. Along in my LinkedIn, it has been a huge conversation. If we are not connected on LinkedIn yet, look for my LinkedIn on the show notes and let's connect, because there are such a good conversations happening on that thread that is worth to watch. But so many of you have reached out throughout the years, but especially now under economic uncertainty with the questions, right? How do I price when inflation is rising? When customers are hesitant to buy? When it feels like no one is spending? Where I'm seeing everything goes expensive and expensive? Where buying eggs, it's a whole deal. Like, how do I go about pricing? Should I even increase my prices? What should I do with it? How do I stay above waters, right? But before we dive into all of that, make sure you stay until the end if you want to have an opportunity to expose what you're doing on your business to the big media, because I'm going to be telling you what I'm working on for my Forbes column, for my Business Insider or HuffPost assignments. And you will have firsthand inside information on what I'm looking for so that you can pitch me your story. Okay, let's start with the pricing conversation together. And we're going to do this in three parts. First, why it feels so scary to raise your prices. And then we're going into how to do it without losing your people or your power, like without losing your business. And finally, what do you need to achieve around your pricing so it doesn't backfire, which is super, super important. So let's start with fear. Logically, you know the value of your work. You understand that you are the owner. You are putting everything together. And you have probably even heard people saying to you that your prices are too low, right? But when it comes time to rise your prices, your stomach drops. Your mind goes in all kind of directions, kind of like in the So Raven episodes where she will stop and see the future and predict all the bad things happening. That's kind of how your mind reacts in those moments. And you can feel your soul leaving your body somehow. But what if no one buys? What if they think I'm greedy? What if they think, what am I doing when everything is so expensive? Why if I lose them all? But here is why it hits so hard. We have been taught to tie our value to affordability, not to transformation. Because generally speaking, a majority of our education has not been an education that builds you as the seller. It has been an education that builds your behavior as a consumer. So that tying your value to being affordable is thinking as the person who buys and not the person who sells. Because the person that is selling must think about value in different ways other than affordability. And especially as women of color, we carry different deep-rooted beliefs. Like many of us carry the belief that success means sacrifice. How many of us have seen our moms, our aunties, our dads, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters to sacrifice everything so that they can succeed? And Michelle Obama was talking on her latest episode. She referenced, I don't remember the guest, but she referenced this talking with their guests about how us as a Black girls and how as a women of color, we sacrifice so much. And they refer to this as absorbing the stroke of everybody else, because success means sacrifice. We also have other beliefs like you are a bad person if you don't make it available for everyone. Like, who do you think you are? You should be making available for everybody, because if not, you'll become this Grinch, this thing that nobody wants to be around. Or that money must come with some guilt. Don't you feel guilty a little bit that you're not offering that to the other person? Or that charging more just makes you a sellout? I mean, but that's not true. That's just simply not truth. That comes from narratives that serves only the person that is intending to get an advantage from those narratives. And that person is not you. And that is what we call financial trauma as well, because it has created a negative experience. Like these kind of sayings, beliefs, understandings, unspoken understandings of society have created a negative experience, and now it lives in your mind, reading the information in that specific way and not letting you see clear what is the perspective, the context, the point of view, and what is in your benefit to do. And economic instability and political fear just kind of like turns up the volume on that trauma. We are hearing about the tariff talk, the inflation, the possible stagnation. Those are big words. So your body feels like it's under attack, because we have everything thrown at our faces, and it's like, whoa, what is all this? There is a lot of fear that comes with that. So your body feels like it's under attack when it's going to raise the prices. But that doesn't mean that you should do nothing. That is the intention of the nervous system reaction, that you pause and stay. And I love how you can see this on animal behavior. What does like an animal will play dead? It will literally be frozen so that the danger passes and hopefully he can continue the activities, right? That is what your brain is doing. It's like, whoa, pause. I'm not doing anything. I'm frozen, right? But the fact that you're feeling that, the fact that your body feels that, the fact that you get the trigger, it doesn't mean that you should do nothing. Or it doesn't mean that somehow it makes you to be in the wrong. It means that you are activating an old survival pattern. And that's great. We have noticed that survival pattern. But the way to move forward, no, it's not ignoring it. But we need to bring clarity and remove the shame and guilt from it, so that you can step into that seller mindset, into that seller position, and understand how to do this during times like the ones that we are living in. So here is the next fear. If I raise my prices, will I lose clients? Let me pause and ask you, are you implementing the key elements for financial independence in your business? There are 7 key elements your business needs to support your financial freedom. Not sure? Then take a 2-minute assessment at brownway2money.com assessment and find out. Your secret word is price. Nobody's spending like, Ale, what are you talking about when you're telling me that I need to raise my prices? Let me just zoom in a little bit there. Because listen, I get it. The fear is especially strong for the 2 types of business owners. The service-based businesses, if you are a coach, consultant, healer, strategist, you're selling you. Your energy, your voice, your transformation, your presence. So raising your prices can feel like saying, I think worth more now. Are you still coming with me? If you're a product-based business, you've got the rising material cost, shipping increases, maybe tariffs hitting you, and the temptation is to absorb it and to eat the cost to stay loyal to your people, because if you don't, you might become across like, oh, this has become so expensive. But here's what I want you to hear. If you're a service-based business, I want you to understand that the pricing alone is not the problem. The right clients, the clients that get your transformation, the clients that need your transformation, the clients that are looking for your transformation, the clients that are ready to have your transformation, they are not scared of by your growth. They are inspired by it, and there is a reason why they are following it, whether that's your process, whether that's your voice, whether that's your message, whatever that is, that they are being attracted to you. So what drives people away is not the number, but a complexity of things in the way that you deliver that number. For my product-based businesses, what I want you to hear is that absorbing that financial stress that comes from all of the increases, all of the tariffs hitting you, absorbing all of that and all of the financial stress that comes with that, it is not loyalty. You cannot stay loyal to your people if you don't stay loyal to yourself. It is simply unsustainable. Your people want you to still be a business. If you continue eating the cost and not pricing properly and not forecasting properly, you won't be a business in a year's time. And your tribe needs you to be a business in a year's time. So whether you sell, knowledge, yourself, your voice, or condos, you are not pricing people out. You are inviting people into a more sustainable exchange. If you are raising your prices from this space of clarity and this space of understanding the economic exchange and not from the fearful space, you won't lose the power. You won't lose the clients. You will lose misalignment and you will lose a lot of misaligned energy, a lot of misaligned messages. But at the end, that's a good thing to grow and to find financial independence. But here's the thing. Okay, I'm ready to raise my prices. And you may be thinking, okay, is that it? Okay, Ale, I'm ready to raise my prices. Do I change the number? Not quite. Raising your prices is only one lever, but like I said, it has to become a whole package that you present, because everything that you have done until today will have the alignment to the price that you are presenting today. So here's what you need to achieve with your pricing. You will need to achieve your messaging. You will need to tie it up. You will need to achieve your mindset. If your nervous system is still in scarcity, you will sabotage the new pricing. You will need to set some boundaries, very hard boundaries. Don't raise your prices and then overload the offer. It's like you are logically changing your prices, but then it comes your subconscious saying, oh no, we are not doing this. Like, why are we doing that? And then you start throwing discounts and extra hours and bonuses and all of these things to the offer, and the client just feels like a wave just hit them on the face and like, whoa, what happened? I'm just gonna walk away. You gotta hold your boundaries, and that's why I say it all comes from a whole package perspective. When you raise your prices from that clarity and from an anchor place, you call in clients who are looking for that specific transformation and that are past that decision making based on pricing. If pricing is not your decision making trigger, which for most of us who are small businesses shouldn't be, because pricing is a trigger strategy for economy of scales. Walmart, Amazon, those are economy of scales that have a global economy and can use pricing as a strategy. For small businesses, uses that are an entrepreneur, that are a consultant, that are a speaker, or for you that have a boutique, a condo boutique, pricing shouldn't be your strategy. Pricing is a complement of your package. So when you make decisions from that anchor place, calling clients that are past that and they are ready to work with you and respect your work. You set boundaries that are there to last and to help you find that financial independence path. By the way, it starts with a number. Pricing is all about that financial freedom number as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have no idea, then the assessment that I've done for you to find the key elements that you need to have in your business for financial independence is your next step. Go ahead and take the assessment and you will find out what your financial freedom number is. But then when you take decisions from this anchor place, you open up a space for more, not just for profit, not just for profit and sustainability, but for peace and certainty under the economic uncertainty time. Here is what we don't talk about enough. The fear, the news, the headlines are made for everybody to notice. And the way that you stand up and the way that you shift the script is when you realize, oh, this is meant for all the masses, but only 1% of the masses will take that, understand, take all the facts, take all what is needed and flip it and say, this is how I can make it work. That is the beauty of knowing and anchoring your mind in clarity rather than fear. The economy will keep changing. We are only May of 2025. We still got a lot to go from this year and from the 4 years that are coming, right? Fear will rise and fall, but your power and your understanding and your value and your voice, that is only yours to claim. So 3 steps that you can take today to analyze your prices and be confident on changing them if they need to be changed. Number 1, ask the question, what transformational purpose does this offer create? If you are a product-based business owner, what is the transformation that your product is getting? When does the client comes and say, I will buy this candle, and when they make the decision to buy the candle and why they're making that decision? What is the transformation? I will just have an example here. I just bought this candle just yesterday. I have plenty of candles in my house. And I bought this candle because I saw it and it has the spring colors, like the pretty thing outside. And I thought, I want when my mom comes to visit me, I want her to feel like spring has arrived to my house. Because she's coming from a very warm weather. He's going to be a little bit colder here, but not that cold. And I want her to be on the mindset that we are in a spring. And that to me starts with a candle. That is the transformation that a product has done to my life. What is the transformation that your product is having? And can you say it? Can you write it out loud? Stop thinking in features and think on the impact that product is having, and same for service providers, right? Then number 2, you're going to name your needs. What does your business need right now to stay on business and grow? Pricing that only cover cost is not enough. Cost is the thing that is related to your product or related to the execution of your activity. Pricing also need to cover all of your expenses. Pricing also need to give you space to get to your financial freedom number. Pricing also should be reflecting the profitability of the business and the value of the business. So name your needs. What does your business need to stay alive and to grow? And number 3, we're going to test for some trauma in there. Ask yourself, am I pricing based on fear or rejection, or do I have any type of framework, logic decision behind my prices other than it is what my neighbor is charging? Number 2, you're going to ask yourself, like, am I trying to soften the blow for somebody else's money story? Am I trying to just sneak in there for somebody else's money story? Or am I avoiding visibility and judgment? If this comes talking as, well, I'm charging as the rest, or I am just pricing what my people can afford, that just shows lack of a logical framework. And that is part of your money story and part of your financial trauma. So if you find any of this, it is time to rewire, and you can start doing that with some of the episodes that I'm going to link on the show notes. And lastly, of course, set and support. Once you have chosen your pricing, if you do decide to change it, offer clarity in a clean way. Offer 1 clean payment plan, not 5. Educate your audience in your value, not just features. show you price with pride. Like, show your price with pride, not apologies, not feeling bad, not thinking that they couldn't afford you because of you. There is a whole package that gets involved. And because I know pricing is so huge, this is the reason why last episode I told you I am opening only 5 spots to walk through everything that relates to your pricing, your business model alignment. I'm calling it a financial reset, and it's going to be a session where you and I are going to sit down and you're going to have me looking into everything that you do with your business to spot the financial trauma so that we can release it and to align for that financial freedom number. I want you to be in 5 years, 10 years from now, financially free, because this is why you started your business in the first place. And that starts with putting all of the packaging together and aligning to that so that you can have win after win after win. That is what we're going to do on those spots. And if you're one of those spots, just scroll down to your show notes and you will have a link where you can claim it. We're also going to look to all of your landing pages, because that is the first place. Landing pages and welcome emails, emails where you present your offers, or where do you present your offers, because that is the number one way that I get to pick up all of your money stories and how you are sabotaging your connection with your customer only because there is some financial trauma or money story that needs to be rewritten over there. It is so much fun. One of these sessions, I did 2 already. Those ones were the one that sparked me to open up more spaces. So much fun. And they are getting so many results already. Not only the clients that they're getting, but the way they are presenting to the clients during this economic uncertainty time. Go to the show notes and click on the link that is going to be there. Sis, if today's episode shocked something loose in you, I want you to know you are not greedy, you are not selfish, you are growing, and you can grow even though that the world seems like it's going crazy. So I challenge you, go look at your pricing and ask, what is the number saying, and is it in alignment with me, the transformation that I'm bringing, and what I want for my life? And if you're ready to take this deeper, let's have this conversation. Before I let you go, I told you Forbes, HuffPost, and Business Insider Inside. So I am currently working on stories for my Forbes column about financial freedom and healing generational trauma. If you have built a side hustle into a 6 or 7 figure business, or if you have started your business to rewrite your family's financial story, pitch me your story. There is a link in the show notes to a form where you can pitch me that story, and please do so through their form, because I will go through the form and check off those pitches more than I will go through my email and answer emails. I have not a lie. I have 8,566 because I'm looking at the computer unread emails. You know, the time that would take me to find if you pitch me something. So better go to the show notes, find the form that is going to be there, and pitch me your story, and just send it through there if you want to have an opportunity to be highlighted on my Forbes column. For Business Insider, if you are the breadwinner of your house with a business, please pitch me. I want to highlight those stories as well. And of course, share this episode with your one bestie that you know you can go to talk about money, to talk about business, to talk about changing the way that you guys are living your life. Because you're sharing this episode and leaving a review that I appreciate so much. Thank you for those reviews. Thank you for those 5 stars. Thank you for sharing this episode with everybody, because that is the only way that I get to be on the ears of more people, to grow this message and to continue doing this. And as always, keep walking your brown way to money. Okay, did you hear something that you liked in today's episode? If so, don't keep it to yourself. Go ahead right now. Yes, right now, before this episode ends, and send this episode to those 3 friends, 3 girlfriends that you know you can go to talk about finance, independence, money, business growth, entrepreneur life, and all of these juicy topics. Share this episode with them, because that is the only way we can grow together. I'm Alejandra Rojas, your host, and I will see you next week.